Hello, everyone. Welcome to our SoftFil Academy webinar. My name is Hannah, and I will be moderating the webinar tonight. First of all, I would like to thank and welcome Dr. Mimi Ehrenraich that is with us tonight and that will do the presentation. Thank you for being with us.
Hello, Hannah. Hello, everyone. Hi, thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm going to wait for everyone to connect for a few minutes, and I will take advantage of that time to give you a few precision on how things are going to go during the webinar. First of all, the webinar will last between 40 minutes to an hour, depending on how many questions there are. The presentation of Dr. Mimi Ehrenraich is supposed to be interactive. Don't hesitate to ask your questions in the Q&A or in the chat, and she will be happy to answer along the webinar. We will also have a Q&A session at the end, but really it's always nice to have a discussion and kind of interact during the presentation. Also, this webinar is being recorded. So from tomorrow, the replay of the webinar will be available on SoftFil Academy's website. And it will also be subtitled in French and in Spanish for people that are not extremely comfortable with English. And I will now start to just give you a little bit more information on Dr. Mimi Ehrenraich. If you're not already familiar with her, if you can go to the next slide, the slide right before. Yes. So Dr. Ehrenraich is a surgeon from Israel. She has a vast experience in general oncologic, vascular, breast and trauma surgery from Rambam Medical Center in Haifa. Over 3 decades of surgical, medical, and aesthetic training and teaching activities. She has clinics in Herzliya, Haifa, and Caesarea, and participates in clinical studies, formulation of protocols for aesthetic technologies, and local and international trainings. She is also a consultant for aesthetic complications and safety. She's a KOL and international speakers in aesthetics, and she's been a KOL for SoftFil for many years now. And she also holds a LLB in complex medical legal issues. So we are very lucky to have her tonight. Thank you again for being here. And we can now start the presentation of Dr. Ehrenreich. Let's go. You have the floor now, Mimi.
Anna, thank you so much. I went through the slides and I discovered that we are in a very friendly relationships since 2010. So wow. I needed to adapt the over 2 decades to over 3 decades. Time runs when you're having fun. Okay, so guys, you feel free, please, to write in the chat, and I will be very happy if Hannah from time to time stops me and tells me that you're all here, because I can see only myself and her in my presentation, which I already know. The scope for tonight is going to be why cannula, why SoftFil cannulas, and the SoftFil range, of course, choosing optimal technique and adapting the optimal cannula. And most of the session, I do hope, because I have a certain problem of speaking too much, but most of it, I hope, is going to be demos, videos of every possible indication, patient, injecting zone. And during this session, I do hope you can, the videos are without volume, without sound, and I'll be explaining the decision I made and the techniques I use for different patients and different indications. So you are more than invited to ask questions and to make it a discussion. Well, a discussion is always much more interesting, and we are not going to fall asleep. As now in Israel, it's already, as you see, darkness. Okay, guys. So as I mentioned, my journey in aesthetic medicine started like 17 years ago, 2009. And since then, everything changed. Our tools, the techniques, the products, everything. It's like a revolution in the past 15 years, you may say. And we hear and discuss about products, about new products coming to our toolbox every day. When I started in 2009, I believe there were like 6 companies producing AJ, 7 companies. As of today, there are hundreds of them. And there are more solutions like biostimulators, different techniques, and it is all being discussed on all stages. We're talking about products. We are talking about even techniques. Thanks God, we're discussing and learning anatomy. And of course, we need some artistic eye, and because we are selling for the past decade, we're selling beautification rather than anti-aging. We are also discussing the idea of how are we using the tools that we have to make someone look more beautiful. And there is one topic that is not a discussion, it's the tools. I had a webinar like 10 days ago, and I always use, of course, SoftFil cannulas. I find them optimal. And one of the dozens doctors that was there asked me, what kind of cannula is it? And I said, I always work with SoftFil. And he said, what's the difference? A needle is a needle, a cannula is a cannula. This is a sentence that you would never hear from a surgeon. The tool is one of the factors that makes our procedure fail or succeed. Most of our tools are called after very famous surgeons who developed the tools. You cannot reach the results you are trying to reach without using optimal tools and optimal technique. So I need to say my thanks to SoftFil, because they're actually the only cannula and tools of injection company that respects education and educates for over 15 years now. And thank you so much for that. I think this is under-evaluated. So thanks. Moving forward. No, this is not forward. This is reverse. Okay. So why use cannula? Guys, I hope everyone is using cannula. Please say in the chat, be active, says, yeah, write down cannula. For those who are still not convinced that cannula is the only way to perform most of the injections when we're referring to volume and to biostimulators, the reasons are safety, results, and perception. I'm going to talk about a couple of words about safety, because it is very important. Results is the same. You cannot perform volumization, volume optimization, some emphasizing of our facial elements using a needle. Talking about perception, everyone knows, our market knows, we have a lot of competition, that needle is low-tech while cannula is high-tech when we're talking about injections. So we really need the perception is the one. Even the Americans are already using cannulas, and we really do have some solutions in our toolbox that demand a needle, talking about safety and about results. So talking about safety, you can see here all the ugly side of the industry of beauty. People are coming to us for safe and natural beautification. This is not beautiful, okay? So how the cannula and the technique connects here. First of all, blood vessels. You see here lots of complications. You see emboli and ischemia. You see a range of delayed inflammatory responses. You see hematomas, and etc. So when we're talking, and I'm going to touch only two topics while discussing the safety and the cannula. First of all, when we're discussing blood vessels and ischemic events, we tend to talk about danger zones. Okay, I think saying the expression danger zones is extremely dangerous because it gives us some kind of false safety feeling and impression that there are safe zones. There are no safe zones. When we're looking at the anatomy, and I took a very bad resolution picture of painting of Netter, Atlas of Anatomy, everything is vague here because this is where we can look at the vessels and they're everywhere. And they did not necessarily read the anatomical book and they don't know where they are supposed to be. Okay, so when we're referring to blood vessels, there are no safe layers. There are no safe zones. There are safe layers, and there are only two safe layers. It's intradermal injection, right? There are no blood vessels there, only the endings, and supraperiosteal. Those are the two layers that are safe to inject with, totally safe to inject with needle. All layers in between are a minefield. The blood vessels can be everywhere, and we do know that this is not both injections in the internal and external carotid artery can lead to a ischemic event, to blindness, and all the sequelae. So volumization is safer using cannula. You can tear a vessel, but it would be extremely hard to penetrate it and inject it. I need to say here that there is one area where I'm not using cannulas, and it is the nose, because the bone underneath make the probability of entering the artery and makes it more dangerous. And while you're injecting with a needle, you are going to being inside the vessel, you are going to inject much lesser volume than using a cannula. So this is the only place where I'm like fighting with myself if to inject noses at all. But when I do, it's only using needles. All the rest, all other volumes, and of course biostimulators are using a cannula. The second one is all the spectrum of delayed inflammatory hypersensitivity reaction, what is called DIR, okay? So there is lots, it's a large spectrum. And there are the foreign body reactions, the granulomas, the nodules, the infections and